We are Eco-Aux. I'm Caroline and I'm the lead. Ariana and Brianna are on the marketing and product design. So does Lana, Nicole does financials, and Daniel does operations. We'd like to thank our advisors, Congressman Quinn and Tim O'Shea, Dr. Herbert Wood, and Cece. So the objective of our thing is to develop an air filter so that cars will not have, you want to buy an electric car, you can just add an attachment to the back of your car. And it's unique, and this market is not exactly, it's not really, we're basically going to be starting it. And our customers, we're going to go to direct customers as well as going to institutes. And our business plan is to start developing the product in 2020 and also reach out to apply for government funds.
So we all know that air pollution is bad for our health, and it can cause long-term and short-term effects such as eye irritation, coughing, cancer, or even death. According to our research, we found out that automobiles is a major cause of pollution through the generation of microparticulates from exhaust. We also found out that Canadians and Americans drive the world's most polluting cars and trucks. However, Canadians top the chart with an average of 206 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometer.
Imagine that you were a mother who is taking your child along the streets of Buffalo to get to school every day. While you're walking, you pass many cars, which is spreading gas all over the city. Now, you're afraid that your baby is going to ingest these fumes, and it may cause consequences in the end. And you're concerned about what to do and what might happen to her. Current solutions are changing your behavior and having chemical changes in your car. Now, with these solutions, it's really hard to maintain these changes while changing your behavior, and they take a lot of time. However, if you did it in our mechanical way, it only involves one installation, and it saves a lot of time.
So with our unique design, we have it green, so it's very obvious to see on the back of a car. And through the filter, a reaction happens through the carbon dioxide. It turns into baking soda and sodium sulfate, and then only oxygen is released.
Our car filter, which is an attachment to the exhaust pipe on a car, is really cool. So we wanted to create a CAD design so we could 3D print it to get a better understanding and a better visual of what it would actually look like. So, do you mind? So as you can see, we have the car filter, which is replaceable. So when the car filter is filled with all of these emissions, we are able to replace it so the person that bought this product doesn't have to replace the whole entire pipe. And we have key features. So high quality, easy to use, and sustainability were all things that we wanted to include in our product. Most importantly, we have ceramic coating, which we are going to get licensing for. And another important thing is we are going to create this out of recycled materials such as scrap parts.
Licensing is a business agreement where a company manufactures a product for a specific price. We want to partner up with SSL, also known as Smart Separations Limited, who is a London-based company that has developed a unique air filtration method to separate micron-sized particles. We will license our product so that we can focus on being a successful product company.
To get a better understanding of our market, we conducted a survey to have first-hand research, and we realized that most people spend an average of 3 hours on transportation, and most people have an average of 3 cars in their household. The most importantly, we have 2 graphs here showing that 95% of people would actually purchase our product, and that most people would buy our product for between $30 to $50, and most people actually said they'd even buy it for around $100.
We also spoke to a U.S. congressman, and he said, "I really like it. It's a cheaper, quicker way to effectively stop climate change." We also met with a person who has a PhD in chemistry and says, "I love the product idea. We have the science. We need them to put what we know into practice to help the world."
Okay, now let's talk about the cost of manufacture and also our pricing strategy. So in the market, there's something called catalyst converter, which is usually priced at $150, and it's built in the exhaust. So our product is actually unique, and in order for our product to be more viable, we actually price it at $40, and in order to maintain a 60% markup, we need to control the manufacturer price as $25. And here, for our market size, we actually have a market size about 20 million per year. So we calculated this number by using the total registered vehicle from Ontario per year and multiply by the adoption rate about 2 to 4%, as well as the average price from $40 to $70, which is also going to be remarkable with such a market size.
So our key success factors are exploring government funding, which would include a government grant, a possible customer rebate, and working with other environmental companies. And a product development, we want to maybe get a patent one day and work on licensing partnership and keeping it sustainable. We want to have a good distribution channel, such as a B2C with e-commerce model and retail stores, and a B2B with state, municipality, and logisticals. So our launch plan, before launch, we want to finalize the prototype, develop marketing plan, finalize a good financial plan, work on staffing, and our launch, we want to build a partnership, have our imported materials from North America, operations, manufacturing, post-launch, work on customer service, quality control, recall, government advocacy. So thank you. We are Eco-Aux, plug us in and put out good.
Got a lot of questions here because it's kind of up my alley here. I really appreciate that you guys identified the management team, because that's very good to say, okay, well, each person has a certain skill sets and not overlap, so being very clear who's going to do what is very important for operations and moving the company forward. So that was very good that you said that. Yeah, just looking at Canada's pollution, we have a lot of work to do here. We got to start to get these Eco-Aux, the part that are very important to reduce emissions. The question is the filter change. How do I know when to change it? Is there an app built in that says you need to change it? Like, how do I get alerted? I'm all about automation. I can't remember everything getting older, so how do I remind myself to change the filter every 3 months or so forth?
So essentially, we're going to have it so the filter has to be replaced every year.
Once a year.
Once a year. And so we're going to be selling it so the consumer can actually pick up the filters at the store and then replace it. And then we can even include an app if we wanted to, but once a year, it's not too hard to remember.
Reminder, okay. And you're saying in terms of the baking soda, you were saying that it was...
Yeah.
That was very interesting that...
Yeah. So it, after the reaction happens, it turns into baking soda, and you can use that. I know a lot of people make their own laundry detergent at home, and that could be used in that or any other thing. We could also sell it back to other companies.
Now, the actual unit that goes on is snapped into the current muffler?
It kind of just like goes on.
Goes on it.
Yeah, it goes on.
So it's kind of like a lock-and-play system, so you just have to pop it onto the exhaust pipe on the car, and then it's going to stay on there, and then it's just the filter that's going to be on the outside, so that's easy to replace.
You just don't want it to fly out on the highway, so they make sure, is it glued on, or is there some form of mechanism that snaps in and safe, because MTO they're pretty hard on that kind of stuff, right?
So what we designed, it's not really too clear on this because it's plastic, but what we're essentially seeing in our vision is we're going to be creating something that is going to be applicable to all cars, no matter the size of the exhaust pipe. So we did look into the regulations in the Ministry of Transportation. And another thing is it's going to be a pop on, so it's going to be suction onto the actual exhaust pipe.
Well, looking at the market, I mean, every car will need one, so I see this as a very scalable business, and yeah, you guys, it's good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, just to comment on what my fellow judge was saying, I think in terms of a scalable model, I think you're really onto something. I have a couple questions. I mean, this is not really my area, but I do know licensing and patents quite well. So help me understand. So you mentioned this other company that's involved. So you are planning on licensing the filter from them, and you're planning on patenting their design. I didn't quite follow exactly that whole piece. Can you elaborate on that?
Basically, we wanted to license out their, like, they have the technology and we would have the marketing and like making the product. We'd work with them to get the science and make sure it's like up to date with that kind of like area of it. Basically.
Okay, so the actual 3D printed design, is that your design that you would patent yourself, or is that owned by the other company?
So that would be ours. So we
Yeah.
created this, and then
Okay, yeah.
so we created the model, but it's more about the science. That would be we took a bit from a few other companies, and then we were able to use that and implement it into our model.
Okay, so the core filter sort of concept and scientific design is from another company that you're looking at partnering with, and then the 3D model is your design that you want to patent. Is that?
Another idea that makes us unique is the baking soda part. So all the other companies, they don't really have like it's just kind of like a filter, but actually wildly you just throw it out, which really doesn't do it. So ours is that it turns into something that you can reuse.
Okay, so I would have to put the baking soda in? Like, how does that work? Or is it just
no.
pop a filter in? Like,
You just pop the filter in, and then the reaction happens, and then there'll be like a thing underneath that will collect it that you'll just kind of like snap off and like snap on, so you can like dump it out.
okay.
Also, like we said, we met with Dr. Herbert, who has a PhD in chemistry, and we were actually able to learn that, like, with the things that we are putting into our filter, it would change it into that. So, like, other companies, they didn't have that extra part, like Ariana was saying.
Okay. And the filters themselves, are they going to be eco-friendly? Yes. Yeah.
Yes, they're going to be made out of recycled like scrap car materials because it's made. We're using the same type of metal. So at the same time, we're going to be using, let's say there's a bunch of like old scrap cars because maybe they got like a new car. We'll use that scrap metal and make it so it's all like 100% recycled.
Great. Thank you.
First of all, I'd just like to comment on the composition of women founders on your team versus men. Congratulations, guys. And I'd also like to comment that you guys are by far the latest stage of all the pitches that we've seen thus far, and first hardware play as opposed to a software play. So all of that is just kind of standard busting, and I just want to say congratulations. You guys really inspire me. To see you guys work together. It's really awesome. I love the B2B play. I think sometimes, people want to build companies, but a lot of them are really good product developers and engineers. And maybe that's a good focus. If you want to just build products and keep inventing, why not license? And why not have to not worry about marketing and growing your business and scaling? So I think this is a really good direction. And my judges already asked all the good detailed questions, and I just want to encourage you guys, especially the girls on the team, keep going, keep doing it, because honestly, I'm counting on you guys to really rebuild the entrepreneurial landscape over the next 25 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.